Hi guys, welcome to our daily encounter. Our reading in the book of Proverbs today teaches us that our words affect the environment that we're in. Our words can either create a peaceful environment or a hostile environment. Our words affect the relationships that we have. They either build up our relationships with others or they tear down our relationship with others. Basically, our words matter. In Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 1, it says, "A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger." And I think we've all perhaps seen this to be true in our lives. Whenever a person is confronted by another individual, the way that they respond to that oftentimes affects how the situation goes. If they speak kind words, thoughtful words, graceful words, then oftentimes the situation is resolved. But if they return insult for insult and they become angry and defensive themselves, then the whole situation just becomes all the more worse and more difficult. And so this shows us again that this is impressing on our minds just how important our words are. In Colossians chapter 4, we get a similar teaching. Colossians chapter 4 and verse 6, where it tells us that our words are to be with grace and seasoned with salt, so that we will know how we should respond to each person. So when we speak, our words should be with grace, seasoned with salt, and very thoughtful, to where we know how to respond to each person based on the needs of the situation, and to be very thoughtful in that. In 1 Peter chapter 3, we're told of us, we're instructed in a way very similar to what we read in Proverbs, where it says in verse 8 of 1 Peter chapter 3, "To sum up, all of you be harmonious, sympathetic, brotherly, kind-hearted, and humble in spirit, not returning evil for evil or insult for insult, but giving a blessing instead. For you are called for this very purpose, that you might inherit a blessing." So here we're told not to return insult for insult, but to return a blessing when people confront us and are acting in a very difficult way. In Romans chapter 12, we're told in verse 19, or actually we could go to verse 18, "If possible, so far as it depends on you, be at peace with all men. Never take your own revenge, beloved, but leave room for the wrath of God." And then it continues in verse 20, "But if your enemy is hungry, feed him. And if he is thirsty, give him a drink, for in so doing, you will heap burning coals on his head. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good." And we can overcome our situations with good speech, with graceful words, with a timely statement that speaks into the situation in a way that diffuses the hostility and the wrath and the anger that might be in the other individual, and can bring perhaps even reconciliation in the relationship. And so let's be reminded today as we do our reading to be very careful about the words that we speak, and to make sure that we are choosing our words very wisely, and that we're speaking in a way that brings peace and harmony into situations, and not in a way that brings hostility and anger and wrath. Let's be people who set a good example about how to properly use one's tongue for the benefit of ourselves and for the benefit of those around us. So these are some things we can think about and reflect on as we do our reading today. With that, guys, I do thank you for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.